Thanks for joining us today, Brendan, to talk about the launch of Ardbeg Traigh Bhan. Why is new aged Ardbeg such a rare occurrence?
Yes, it's a great question, and it's a very exciting thing to have like an aged Ardbeg, because right now in our portfolio the only aged Ardbeg we have is like our flagship Ardbeg, which is the 10, and it's really just it's a product of Ardbeg's history. Ardbeg has been a very misunderstood distillery. It's opened and closed its doors, I think it's 7 or 8 times in its history, and especially quite recently, the 1980s, Ardbeg made practically nothing. So there's just this entire gap in the stock of Ardbeg. And in the 1990s, it kind of limped along and almost just disappeared until we bought the distillery in 1997. And just slowly and steadily and calmly and surely we've increased production each year and slowly started to grow some stock. But pretty much everything we make comes out as Ardbeg 10. So it's just taken a bit of courage, a bit of foresight and a bit of patience to just squirrel away a little bit of stock and let it get to 19 years old. So it literally has been 19 years of work to get to this stage. And it's now here, it's permanent, and it's going to be here forever. And it's just a very exciting mark of how far Ardbeg has come since 1997.
Could you explain the story behind the name Traigh Bhan?
Yeah, so it's Traigh Bhan. Traigh Bhan is a beach on Islay, and it's in English called the Singing Sands. So it's just this beautiful, small little beach right next to Carrick Fada, which is the lighthouse that you'll see if you ever get the ferry to Port Ellen and you come into Port Ellen, you'll see the lighthouse on your left. And just to the left of that lighthouse is Traigh Bhan, the Singing Sands. Stunning beach, beautiful crystal clear sand, amazing views out to the water, and just like a really ethereal, beautiful place. But it does have, a requirement of respect. There's some pretty sharp, rugged, dangerous coastline there as well. So beautiful, calm, serene, but has to be treated with respect, just like this Ardbeg.
You'll release Traigh Bhan in small batches each year. How will each batch vary from the last?
Yeah, so we're going to just make one batch a year. It's going to be permanently available, so this is here to stay, but we'll just make it once a year. It's permanent, but it's going to be in small amounts. We just don't have that much old stock. Roughly speaking, it's about 85% just Ardbeg matured in ex-bourbon barrels, but it also has an element of Oloroso sherry in there as well, 15% call it. But each year, it's just naturally, just like every batch of whiskey, I guess, there's going to be some natural variation within it. But I guess sometimes it might just have like a nuanced, higher pronunciation of sherry. Other times it might be more bourbon-led. So it'll be identifiable. If you taste one batch to the next, you will work out that absolutely this is the classic 19-year-old flavour. But sometimes it might just be a little bit more on the, smoked pineapple, fresh estery notes, and other times you might get a little bit more of the chili chocolate and other things.
Could you talk us through the label on the bottle?
So the batch number, you'll see it on the box, you'll see it on the label as well, but it's, TB, which is Traigh Bhan, it's pretty obvious. Then you'll have like a list of numbers, and it's actually a date, and that's like what we call AYS, the age of the youngest spirit. So what's in the youngest whiskey in there, so the one that's the 19 years old in a day maybe, and it'll just tell you when the youngest whiskey was in there. There's some older whiskey. After that, you'll have a 1, and the 1 is because that's the first batch. So the next batch we make, that'll be 2. And then after that, at the end, it's MH for Mickey Heads, or distillery manager. And each year we're going to cycle through different people who'll just play like a small role helping Dr. Bill to put together the final recipe, and their initials will go in there. So it's just a way to like distinguish each batch year on year on year.
How important is the committee in safeguarding the future of the distillery?
Extremely. whatever goes above extremely. Without the committee, Ardbeg wouldn't be here. I mean, the slogan, the mission, the strapline, the purpose of the Ardbeg committee is to make sure that Ardbeg never closes its doors again. And like I've said already, Ardbeg has had this really complicated, turbulent history of opening and closing its doors many times. And it's the committee that's going to keep the doors open, hopefully completely into the future, way beyond when I'm here and hundreds of years into the future. It's just so important. And the more the committee, this whiskey is like a testament to the committee being there. It's allowed us to confidently lay down stock, be patient and let it grow and let it mature into this incredible whiskey. So yeah, the committee's everything.
Great, so shall we try it?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give it a go. So as I say, this is Ardbeg's 19-year-old Traigh Bhan. First permanent aged expression of Ardbeg in over 20 years. Ardbeg 10 is the only aged expression until now. Slanjva. And what we love about aged Ardbegs is it's just kind of like, it's tempered, not tamed, you know. The smoke will naturally be sort of more on the palate, more in the background. The younger Ardbegs, it's smoke first and then other flavours. This one, it kind of flips on its head, so it's actually quite fruity. I mean, it's very light, very gentle on the nose. Lots of chunks of pineapple, bit of lime, maybe some chocolate. But take a taste and you'll realise this is still an Ardbeg. It still has that kind of smoky, charcoal, wood smoke, salty thing in there, but it's just, the smoke is there, but it's just slightly more in the background. I mean, this is kind of like where the name, the Singing Sands, Traigh Bhan, came from. You know, it's just this very gentle, serene, beautiful, elegant beach, but there's still some jagged rocks there that require a bit of respect. So nose and palate are just completely different. Super light, super fruity. Yeah, it's pineapple, chocolate, lime sherbet, lemon sherbet. It's hard to describe. And then just charcoal, wood smoke, Ardbeg.